Alright, so good day, learners, and welcome to the world of grammar. How are you today? Are we all good? That's great. By the way, I am Teacher Jum, and I am your grammar teacher for today. Now, are you ready for a fun and new exciting learning? Great! Now, fasten your seatbelt because at this time, we will ride another roller coaster of ideas. Do you want that? Alright, but before I formally start my discussion today, let's have first the two important rules during my discussion. So, first, turn on your camera as much as possible, especially to those students who have stable internet connection. And then, lastly, is to turn off your microphone. So, are my instructions clear, class? Very good. Now, for your attendance, do not forget to comment on the comment section below. Again, for your attendance, comment your name because that will serve as your attendance. Alright, thank you, class. Now, last meeting, we have discussed about verbs. Right? Am I right? Now, who can give me a recap of what we have discussed about verbs? Thank you for that. Yes, last meeting we discussed about verbs and its function and uses in the sentence. But before we proceed to our next topic for today, let's have first a short review about verbs. So I have here 5 sentences and all you have to do is to identify the verbs in the sentence. So number 1, the man gives Sarah the letter. If your answer is gives, then you're correct. Number 2, Max Payne eats the cake. If your answer is eats, then you're correct again. She walked away after the event. Again, number 3, she walked away after the event. So if your answer is walked, then you're right. Number 4, she really likes you, Rosen. Again, she really likes you, Rosen. So if your answer is likes, then you got it again correct. Number 5, I tasted her cookies and it was very delicious. If your answer is tasted, then superb. You get all the correct answers. Now, are there any clarifications or question about this topic? Alright, so if none, then let's proceed to another activity. Now, the next activity we have is entitled What's the Difference? Now, I have here 2 paragraphs and I want everybody to please pay attention at the same time, read, analyze, and comprehend the 2 paragraphs. And I'll give you 2 minutes to read the paragraphs. Then after reading the 2 paragraphs, I will ask you about what have you observed between the 2, or you will spot the difference between the 2. So, do you understand, class? Very good. So, here are the 2 paragraphs and your timer starts now. Alright, time's up, time's up. Now, what do you observe in the paragraph presented, class? Or what are the difference between the 2 paragraphs? That's great! You have a very brilliant idea. Yes, the 2 paragraphs are the difference are in the first paragraph, Glenn's name was often used, while on the second paragraph, it was replaced by he, and many other more. So that's great. You have a very wonderful idea. Now I have picked one sentence coming from each of the paragraph. So please read. For number one, we had Clint had gotten his driver's license, and number two, he had gotten his driver's license. Now, what have you observed between the two sentences? Yes, there are highlighted words aside from that. Exactly correct. In the first sentence, Clint was highlighted and underlined in the sentence, which is a noun or the subject of the sentence, while on the other hand, the second sentence implies pronoun where he replaced the noun in the sentence. Thank you for that very brilliant idea. Now this morning, we will discuss about personal pronouns. Exactly correct. We will tackle about personal pronouns. Now at this juncture, I want you to listen very carefully and focus at the same time because at the end of the lesson, students are expected to attain learning outcomes of the following. So, here are the learning objectives. Letter A. Use personal pronouns in the sentence under the English Curriculum Code EN 3G-Roman numeral 3 C-D-4.2.3. Letter B. Identify personal pronouns in the sentences. And letter C. Discuss the importance of proper usage. So, am I understood? Very good. Now I have here a poem entitled Me, You, and Them. So I will read it to you and I want you to listen very carefully. So here it goes. He is a boy and his name is Jim. If this toy is his, then it belongs to him. She is a girl and her name is Susie. Hers is the boat that is painted by blue. You are you, that is plain to see. I am not you and you are not me. We are together, we are more than one. Please come and join us in our fun. I am me and I am special as an bee. You are my friend. Together, you and I are we. In that poem, what do you call about the highlighted words? Again, what do you call the words that are being highlighted in the poem? Great mind! They are personal pronouns. Thank you so much for that. Now I have here an activity entitled Pronoun Memory Game. And all you have to do is to fill out the missing pronouns in the sentence. Now, if you have really focused on the poem that I have read to you a while ago, then surely you can answer all the missing personal pronouns in every stanza. So, let's have the first stanza first. If your answer is, he is a boy and his name is Jim. If this toy is his, then it belongs to him. Now, if your answer is he, his, and him, you got it all correct. Thank you so much for that. Now the question is, how did you recognize that these words are the exact words we need to fill out in the blank? Again, how did you recognize that these words are the exact words we need to fill out in the blank? Exactly correct. We recognize those words because the subject in the sentence is a masculine or a male. So let's proceed to stanza number 2. If your answer are, she is a girl and her name is Susie. Hers is the boat that is painted by blue. The personal pronouns used in the stanza are she, her, and hers. Now, if in the first stanza it is for masculine, then why do we use this word this time? Precisely, we use she, her, and hers in the sentence since the subject is a girl, which is Susie. Now, we need to remember that if the subject is for male, then we should use he, him, and his. And for female, we need to use she, her, and hers. Am I understood? Very good. Now let's proceed to stanza number 3. So if your answers are you, that is plain to see. I am not you, and you are not me. Now, the personal pronouns used in stanza number 3 are you, I, and me. Again, why do we use these personal pronouns? Excellent! We use these personal pronouns because it shows itself that you are the subject in the sentence. These personal pronouns are used if the subject in the sentence is in the first person singular. Now, let's proceed to stanza number 4. If your answers are we are together, we are more than one, please come and join us in our fun. Now, the personal pronoun used in the sentence are we, us, and our. So the question again is, why do we think we use these words? Precisely, we used it since the subject in the sentence are in the plural form. Now let's proceed to the last stanza. If your answers are I am me and I am special as and be, you are my friend, together you and I are we. Now again, we use the personal pronouns I, me, and you, which is again the subject in the sentence is in the first person singular. Now, do you have any questions about it? Very good. Now, based on our discussion a while ago, how do these words function in the sentence? Again, how do these words function in the sentence? You've got a very great point. Yes, they are used to replace a noun in the sentence. But aside from that, what else? Wonderful mind. Yes, it can be also used to replace of a noun to avoid repeating the noun in the sentence. So, to make the story short, these words takes place a noun under words that describes a noun. Now I have here the table, which is a list of personal pronouns for you to clearly picture out what are personal pronouns. So the table shows the categories of a personal pronouns. This also shows about when and how a personal pronoun can be used in the sentence. Now, what is a personal pronoun? Very good. A personal pronoun is mainly related to substitute a particular person in the sentence. But aside from that definition, what else? Or any other idea? Extravagantly correct. A personal pronouns also stands for a person or an animal who star in our sentence to avoid redundancy. Now here is a clear picture or the clear definition of a personal pronoun. A personal pronoun is a short word we use as a simple word or a simple substitute for the proper name of a person. A personal pronouns are pronouns that are associated primarily with a particular grammatical person. Now let's go back to the table. So as you can see in the person, in the first column, which is the person, it shows about the first person, second person, and the third person, which refer to the grammatical person. Personal pronouns may also take different forms depending on number. So it refers to singular and plural form of the personal pronouns. Now it also depends on the grammatical or natural gender. So if you could still remember the first activity we had, which is the pronoun memory game in the first and second stanza, that if it is for masculine, then we need to use he, him, and his, while for feminine or for female, then we need to use she, her, and hers. And lastly is for the case and formality. Alright, so the table also shows about the subject and object of the sentence. Now, subject pronouns are said to be in the nominative case or the subject in the sentence, while the object pronouns are said to be in the objective case. Now, what are the subject pronouns as reflected on the table? Very good. The subject pronouns are I, we, she, he, it, and they. Now, how about the object pronouns? Superb! The object pronouns are me, you, us, him, her, it, and them. Now carefully take a look in the table. Remember that you should always need to properly use personal pronouns and on how and when it should be. So any additional idea about personal pronouns? Alright. Now let's see if you have really understand what our personal pronouns are. Now I have here an activity which is the match the pronouns. So all you have to do in this activity is to read the sentence carefully and underline the personal pronoun in the parentheses that best completes the sentences. So number 1. The tallest on the player is he or him. If your answer is him, then correct. Number 2. Zaria and her she friend are our class representatives. So if your answer is her, which is Zaria and her friend are our class representatives, correct. Number 3. What did they, them, do for their history? Again, what did they, them, do for their history? If your answer is they, superb. So, what did they do for their history? Number 4. Please give ours letter to Anna. If your answer is R, then correct. Again, please give our letter to Anna. Number 5. Raul and Soliel saw Hades and they at the music store. If your answer is them, then you got it correct. Raul and Soliel saw Hades and them at the music store. Number 6. Let's divide the group between you and we, us. If your answer is us, then correct. Number 7. We, them, make a good team together. If your answer is we, then correct. We make a pretty good team together. Number 8. If you ask them, there's too much emphasis on winning. If your answer is them, then you're right. If you ask them, there's too much emphasis on winning. Number 9. He exploration helped the Mercadajes and the Rego to flourish. If your answer is his, then correct. His explorations helped Mercadajes and Rego to flourish. Number 10. The award was given to Raya and him, he. If your answer is him, then you're right. The award was given to Raya and him. Number 11. It's us against the world. If your answer is it's, then correct. It's us against the world. Number 12. They, there. If your answer is they, then you got it correct again. They belong to each other. What can we, us, do without you? Again, if your answer is we, then you got it all correct. What can we do without you? It's your, you, smile, your face that I missed. If your answer is your, excellent. It's your smile, your face that I missed. Number 15. Our, us, world needs you badly. Please stay. Now, if your answer is our, then you got it correct. Our world needs you badly. Please stay. In the activity we did a while ago, it was clearly emphasized about the proper usage of personal pronouns, right? Now, do you think it is important to know the appropriate use of an object or anything? Why do you say so? Brilliant idea, very well said. Yes, knowing the proper usage of anything is very important in all aspects of life, even in grammar. Why? Because inappropriate use of anything can damage our credibility as a person or as an individual, or can undermine another argument. That is why we really need to be careful and think twice before the action. However, have you ever experienced some situation wherein you use a thing that is inappropriate to the situation? Who can share his or her experience? Thank you so much for that very informative experience. Now, there are really times that we are in that situation. Now, who could share another experience? Nobody? Alright, now I just want to emphasize that there's no harm if we follow safety and appropriate measures. Am I understood? Very good. So I hope that you have learned something from my discussion for today. Now that would be all.